In today's video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about the crypto platform Kraken by giving you a full, in-depth review that explains how it works, what it does well, where it falls short, and whether it's the right exchange for you. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete understanding of what Kraken actually offers, so you can make an informed decision based on your experience level, your trading style, and the kind of crypto user you want to be. Let's start from the beginning. Kraken is one of the oldest cryptocurrency exchanges still operating today, and that alone gives it a different feel compared to most platforms. It launched back in 2011, which was a time when the entire crypto ecosystem was extremely small and mostly experimental. That early start gave Kraken a long runway to build its infrastructure, develop its security systems, and gain a reputation for reliability. And that reputation is one of the biggest reasons people still choose Kraken today. It consistently markets itself as a safe, regulated, trust-focused exchange, and for more than a decade, it has mostly lived up to that image. When you log into Kraken for the first time, what you see is a modern, clean interface that tries to make things feel simple. You can buy and sell crypto with a few taps, deposit and withdraw in a variety of fiat currencies, and get access to a fairly large selection of digital assets. But Kraken doesn't stop there. It's not just a basic buy and sell exchange. It's an ecosystem that scales with you as your experience grows. If you're brand new, the platform doesn't overwhelm you with complexity. But if you're more advanced or you plan to get more advanced later, Kraken offers a deeper level of tools and control. One of the things Kraken is known for is its complete separation between the beginner experience and the professional one. For everyday users who just want to buy some Bitcoin or Ethereum and keep things simple, Kraken's main app does a good job of presenting crypto in a clean, easy to understand way. But behind that simple front end is Kraken Pro, which is designed for active traders, advanced investors, and even institutional clients. Kraken Pro has advanced charting, multiple order types, margin trading, futures trading in supported regions, deeper liquidity, and faster execution. In other words, it's built for people who actually treat crypto trading like a skill or a profession. This dual platform structure is one of Kraken's strongest advantages. Beginners can grow into the advanced tools over time without having to migrate to a completely different exchange. Everything they need is in the same ecosystem, from their first buy order all the way up to professional level trading. But before we dig deeper into features, let's talk about what Kraken is arguably most known for: its security. Almost every exchange claims to be secure, but Kraken has a track record that stands out in the broader industry. Unlike many major platforms, Kraken has never experienced a catastrophic hack that resulted in customer funds being stolen. That alone carries a lot of weight in the crypto world, where even extremely large exchanges have suffered huge breaches. Kraken uses things like cold storage for the majority of customer assets, strong encryption, two-factor authentication, and internal monitoring systems that are continuously updated as threats evolve. And while nothing is ever 100% risk-free, Kraken's historical performance does place it near the top when it comes to operational security. Now, let's talk about asset selection. Kraken supports hundreds of cryptocurrencies, depending on your region, ranging from the major assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, all the way down to smaller or emerging tokens. This range gives you a lot of flexibility as an investor. Whether you're a long-term holder looking for established coins or someone interested in exploring alternative assets, Kraken offers enough variety to diversify without needing multiple exchanges. The ability to deposit and withdraw in several fiat currencies also makes the platform friendly to an international audience, reducing the need to constantly convert before moving your money. Another strength that many users appreciate is Kraken's transparency and regulatory posture. The platform holds licenses in several jurisdictions, submits to audits, and works closely with regulators. For some people, that level of compliance creates trust and stability because it indicates that Kraken wants to operate legitimately and sustainably in the long term. The trade-off, of course, is that you must complete identity verification to use almost all features, which is something some crypto users don't love. But if you want a regulated exchange, that's part of the process. This brings me to another major component of Kraken: staking. Depending on your location, Kraken allows you to stake certain cryptocurrencies and earn rewards directly through the platform. Staking is essentially the process of locking up your crypto to help support a network, and in return you receive periodic yields. Kraken tries to make this process simple, letting you stake and unstake with just a few clicks. However, because of regulatory changes, especially in the United States, the availability of staking may differ by region. So while it's a strong feature, it's increasingly dependent on where you live. Moving on to fees. Kraken's approach is generally straightforward and competitive. On the main platform, instant buy fees can be a bit higher, which is normal for convenience-based services. But on Kraken Pro, where most serious trading happens, the maker-taker fees are noticeably lower, especially if you're doing larger volume. The fee structure starts relatively standard and becomes more favorable as your trading activity increases. This makes Kraken a good long-term option for traders who expect to become more active over time. And it's worth pointing out that Kraken is also pretty transparent about fees. Before you complete a withdrawal or a trade, you can clearly see what it will cost. That transparency matters, especially when you compare it to some platforms that bury fees or present them in confusing ways. Now that we've covered the advantages, let's talk about areas where Kraken isn't perfect. The first and most obvious drawback is the platform's complexity for brand new users. While Kraken does have a simplified interface, the overall experience can still feel overwhelming if you're completely unfamiliar with crypto. There are multiple interfaces, layered menus, advanced tools, and a lot of options that beginners may not fully understand. This can create a learning curve that deters casual users who just want a single, streamlined place to make occasional purchases. Some other exchanges focus heavily on simplicity at the expense of features, while Kraken focuses on a balance, and that balance isn't ideal for everyone. Another limitation is regional restrictions. Because Kraken chooses to be more regulatory compliant than some of its competitors, certain services simply aren't available in certain countries. Staking, futures trading, and even entire crypto assets can be restricted depending on where you live. This can create an inconsistent experience, where a friend in another country has access to a feature that you don't. Even though you're both using the same platform, it's not Kraken's fault directly, but it is part of using a compliant exchange. There's also the question of fees for very casual users. If you make instant purchases using the main interface, the fees can be higher than what you would pay using the Pro trading system. Someone who only buys small amounts occasionally may end up paying more than necessary without realizing that Kraken Pro exists or understanding how to use it. So while Kraken's fee structure is competitive for active or advanced traders, it's not always the cheapest option for people who buy crypto only a few times a year. One more point some users bring up is that Kraken's liquidity, while strong, isn't always at the very top compared to the absolute largest exchanges in the world. For most users, this doesn't matter at all, but for extremely high volume traders or institutions, certain pairs on other exchanges may offer slightly deeper order books. This isn't a problem for the majority of people, but it's worth mentioning for completeness. So with all of that said, who is Kraken actually best for? Kraken is an excellent choice for people who want long-term reliability, strong security, and a platform that grows with them. If you're serious about investing in crypto, whether that means long-term holding, staking, or trading with advanced tools, Kraken gives you everything you need in one place. It's especially appealing if you value transparency, regulatory compliance, and a platform that has stood the test of time. On the other hand, Kraken might not be perfect for you if you want the simplest, easiest, most beginner-friendly experience with almost no learning curve. It's also not the best choice if you live in a region with heavy restrictions that limit its main features. And if you only buy tiny amounts of crypto occasionally, you may end up paying more than necessary unless you use the Pro interface. To wrap everything up, Kraken is one of the most trusted and well-rounded exchanges in the crypto world. Its combination of security, features, asset variety, and long-term consistency makes it a strong option for anyone who wants a reliable exchange that isn't going anywhere. Its weaknesses mostly come down to complexity for beginners and the impact of regional regulations. But if you're looking for a platform that balances simplicity with power, and you want something that can handle both casual investing and advanced trading, Kraken is absolutely worth considering. That completes this full review of Kraken. I hope this breakdown gave you a clear, realistic understanding of what the platform offers, what it's best for, and whether it fits your personal trading style or long-term goals. If you want a comparison between Kraken and other major exchanges, feel free to let me know and I can create an in-depth guide covering differences in features, fees, safety, and ease of use.